Welcome back to our lesson on triangle centers. In this video, we'll look at the construction of the incenter of a triangle. So before we can find the incenter of a triangle, we need to have a triangle. So we're going to go ahead and draw a triangle. I'm going to just specify 3 points on my paper here. And make sure that you're drawing a reasonably large triangle here. This way you won't get too cramped with the compass, but don't draw it so large that it's hitting the edge of the paper, because then you might run out of space when you're needing to draw some of these arcs and lines for the construction. So, all right, so now I have the 3 points. I'm going to go ahead and connect those 3 points with lines. Oops. All right, so here we go. Okay, so there's my triangle, and in order to construct the incenter of a triangle, I need to bisect all 3 angles of the triangle. So I'm going to do the angle bisector construction 3 times. I'll go ahead and start with this angle right down here. Now, if you recall, the first step in bisecting an angle is to draw an arc with the compass centered at the point of the angle that goes across the 2 lines like this. And then we put the compass at those 2 intersection points and we draw 2 more lines. This, by the way, is the rhombus version of the angle bisector construction. I showed you 2 methods in a previous video, the equilateral triangle construction and the rhombus version of the construction. But typically we use the rhombus version because we don't have to reset the compass then. So now once I have these 2 arcs, we look at that point of intersection and we're going to draw a line. Our angle bisector is going to go through that point of intersection from the point of the angle. So let's go ahead and draw that line right there. So there's our first one, and because this is an angle bisector, this angle right here is equal to this angle right here. Now let's bisect the other 2 angles. So as I did in the last one, I'm going to start by drawing an arc across, and then from the 2 points where the arc intersects with these 2 lines, I draw 2 more arcs. So there's one, and there's the other. Now it's important to keep your arcs straight. You see these arcs also intersect with this arc, but I am concerned with that intersection point right there. So now I line up the straight edge to go through that intersection point. There is my second angle bisector. So now I know that this angle here is equal to that angle right there. And now let's do the third one. So I'll center the compass at this point. And let's see, I'll go ahead and bring the compass out a bit so that my arcs don't get too crowded together, if you will. So I have my 2 points of intersection. I'm going to go ahead and draw, and I might have to move this up a little bit so you can see these points of intersection. So I'll draw this one here. And now I'll go to here, this point of intersection. I'll draw another arc right there. And now I need to draw a line from the point of the angle through that intersection point. That is my third angle bisector. So let's line it up and draw the angle. Okay. So there it is. And now you'll notice that all 3 angle bisectors, or let me specify first. Okay, so this angle right here is going to equal this angle right here, because I have now bisected this top angle of the triangle. And you'll notice that the 3 angle bisectors all meet at this point in the middle. That point right there is called the incenter. So let's write that down. So the incenter of the triangle is that point where all three angle bisectors meet at one point. The reason it's called the incenter is that it is the center of the incircle, the circle that would be perfectly inscribed inside this triangle. Let's go ahead and construct the incircle as well so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, in order to construct the incircle, we need to drop a perpendicular from the incenter to one of the sides of the triangle. I'll go ahead and drop it down to this bottom side of the triangle. So the construction for dropping a perpendicular starts by centering the compass at the point you're dropping the perpendicular from, and then we draw an arc across the line that we're dropping the perpendicular to. This gives us these two intersection points, and now I need a perpendicular bisector. I need to construct a perpendicular bisector of the segment connecting those 2 points. So here we go. Go ahead and draw this like so. I'm going to go to the other point here and draw that. Okay. Now, as you can see, we're getting a lot of arcs, so we can start to lose track if we're not careful. But the intersection points are up here and down here. And let's go ahead and line those up. Okay. So the perpendicular is right there. I'll go ahead and just draw the whole thing out. Okay, but the perpendicular that I'm concerned about is this one right here. We see that right angle and that point right there. This point is the point that I'm going to use to determine the radius of the incircle. So now I'm going to set the compass to be the distance from the incenter to this point, which is the radius of the incircle. And I'm going to draw a complete circle. And this circle is also going to tell me how good of a job I did on my construction. Because if it perfectly, sort of kisses all three sides of the triangle, then I'll know I've done a good job. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's draw my circle. That side looks pretty good. That side looks pretty good too. All right, let's just darken it down a little bit now. So that right there is the incircle of the triangle. It is a circle that's perfectly inscribed within the triangle. So now you've seen how we can construct the incenter of a triangle, and once we've constructed the incenter of the triangle, we can use it to draw the incircle. In the next video, we'll look at the construction of the centroid.